Normally, I don't look on the internet for a dinner companion.
And normally when I am contacted on my website, it is not for dinner.
Yes, I was as much curious about your website as I was put off by the title. What kind of a name for a dating site is Gateway to Eternity?
Well, as they say, it is what it is.
You know, your site did not list your name. You know mine, but what should I call you?
Well, Norman, you can call me Gwen. My full name is Gwen Reaper.
Glad to meet you, but man, are your hands cold? And why do you wear those rubber gloves?
You can't be too careful with this virus still going around.
Excuse me. I know what you mean. So many deaths.
Well, you know what they say. Every cloud has a silver lining, and this one is certainly lining my pockets with silver.
So death doesn't bother you?
Not at all. It is just part of life. Without night there can be no day, if you know what I mean.
I think I get what you are saying. Tell me more.
Well, as you probably have guessed by now, I am really not Gwen Reaper. My first name is actually Grimm.
Yes, I didn't think you were French. You know, I have to admit I never thought of the Grim Reaper as a woman. Isn't it always a man?
Come on, Norman. This is the 21st century. Women are moving into all sorts of jobs previously reserved for men, and often are better at it also.
But aren't you a little reluctant to take all these people's lives from them? Not very ladylike.
Want to try me?
No. I'll take your word for it. Besides, I am in perfect health and too young to go.
You think so? Norman, I wouldn't skip your next physical. Look, if you feel uncomfortable, you may go. I won't mind.
Well, I do feel uncomfortable and I do want to go. But only to the bathroom.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. But if you don't come back, I won't hold it against you.
Is everything all right, miss? I saw your friend leave in rather a hurry.
No, everything is fine, and he just went to the men's room. But let me give you a bit of advice. I wouldn't go on that vacation trip to Las Vegas you were planning. Stay close to home and your family.
Why on earth would I want to do that?
Up to you, I guess. It's your funeral, as they say.
What did Mr. Gray want? He's the owner and I have known him for years.
He just wanted to postpone the inevitable, and if he ignores my advice, what they say will certainly be true. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. At least until they ship him back east.
So, Grim, or Miss Reaper, I would really like to hear your take on death, since it and taxes are the only things we all have to face.
You got it, Norman. But first, do you believe in life after death?
You mean like heaven and hell, or any of those other beliefs religions seem to perpetuate? You know, I really don't. I think when you are dead, you are dead. That's her. Dust to dust. We all end up as worm food. Someone once said, life is not a dress rehearsal. People who think the good stuff will happen in the afterlife will wake up dead and regret it.
Okay, then we are on the same page here. Life is the experience we must value. Life is finite. It has a beginning, middle and an end. And when the end comes, that's it. Finito. Sayonara. That's all she wrote. Goodbye, Charlie.
One of my professors once told me his take on life. He said you're born, you feel pain, and you spend the rest of your life trying to minimize the pain and discomfort. Until you die. And when you think about it, he was right on the money. I went to school so I would have a job later and not be starving in the woods, and everything I have done was to make life less frustrating and uncomfortable. What were you writing?
I just updated your chart. I think you can skip your physical if you want. You're not on my list.
Thanks.
You know, Norman, I have enjoyed this evening more than I thought I would. You can call me anytime.
Well, you know, Gwen, now that I know the business you are in, I think I will postpone as long as I can the next time we meet up. Hey, Grim. It is still early, want to get a coffee?
Sure, why not? I don't have any pickup schedule until midnight.
Great. I know a little place in the next block. The owner is a friend of mine, Carlos Santiago.
Oh, was he your friend?
What do you mean, was he my friend?
He was my 4:30 pickup. I fit him in just before I met you at the restaurant. Too many coffees and too many pastries. Sorry. I want to thank you for dinner. It was very nice.
No problem. I am glad. You just reminded me. I really like making up analogies to help explain concepts, and you reminded me that I was telling someone the other day.
Well, lay it on me, Norman.
I was telling him that to me life was like going out to dinner.
I think you lost me there, Norm.
Well, you are born and begin to plan your life as you grow up, just like someone who decides to go out for dinner and begins thinking about what food they would like to get.
So deciding between steakhouse, or Chinese or Italian is like say I want to be a rock star, or a cowboy or a teacher when I grow up?
Exactly. And then you look at the brochures and the ads and sort of focus in general on the type of food, or life, you want to end up with.
Norman, I like the way you think. So what happens next?
Well, by a certain time, dinner time, you get on track and head out. But as time goes on, you get to the restaurant and they hand you a menu. Lots more choices to make.
Right, like what to order. Like the job. Or the city you work in. Stuff like that. In fact, you could even decide you made a mistake and get up and leave.
Yes, after you see the prices. So you enjoy the great meal. And even order a nice rich dessert to top it off.
Right. The success we all crave as life moves on. Some of the younger ones I have to collect really object that they never got there. As you say. Desserts.
Yes, when you get to the end of dessert, it is usually the signal to pay the bill and leave.
And yet some people, when they know it is time, don't want to go. They do everything they can to postpone what comes next.
Makes no sense. If you finished a wonderful meal and the check comes, would you just keep sitting there hoping you won't ever have to pay up and move out?
Sorry, it is my boyfriend. He is picking me up to take me to the movies. Some comedy. The Living Dead or something.
Sorry you have to go.
See you, Norm.
Not if I see you first.
Hi, babe. Ready to go?
Always ready for you. Bonehead.
And people say love is dead.